23,000 people were forced out of their homes in September of 2015 due to wildfires in California caused by drought conditions, according to an article posted on the British Broadcasting Corporation's United States section of their website. Many Americans have only been focused on the drought that has recently overcome California, but what these people may be unaware of is that the drought has actually staked a claim over most of the western United States. There are many factors that have contributed to this drought. One of the largest and most heavily disputed factors is climate change, but there are also contributing factors that many Americans are oblivious to, such as our wild overuse of water resources, the lack of restriction on water usage, and our improper use and waste of groundwater. Though there are more reasons behind the lack of water in the West, these are the most at fault. When people think of a drought, they typically think of a meteorological drought, one which is a result of the lack of precipitation in a region. There are two other forms of a drought, however. A hydrological drought, similar to a meteorological drought, is caused by precipitation, but is measured by how precipitation affects soil moisture, stream flow, and groundwater recharge. Lastly, a type of drought which mainly concerns farmers, but affects everyone, is agricultural drought. It can be caused by the timing of water availability, earlier snowmelt, and lack of precipitation. It damages crops and our nation's access to farming resources. There are too many effects of droughts caused by these three types in the western United States to list, so I have narrowed down my research to the 5 most detrimental: the loss of forest life in the region, spontaneous wildfires caused by extremely dry underbrush, the relocation of families and animals native to these regions, the endangerment of species due to wildfires and drying up of water resources, and major threats to our water supply and our food security. Now I will go into detail about each of the effects of droughts in the western United States. First, I will focus on the loss of forest life in the region. Spontaneous forest fires have caused the deaths of thousands of animals and have killed whole forests of trees in certain regions of the western U.S. This loss of life in these forests is causing entire ecosystems to disappear and is forcing animals out of their habitats. Not only were animals forced out of their habitats, but people were also forced to relocate from their homes. An article in The Atlantic written by reporter Abram Lustgarten describes a cowboy named Nisk Dean Jr. and his journey from Reno to Winnemucca, Nevada. The article expresses a picture of a once luscious and thriving stretch of fields that are now left barren and lifeless. The scenery depicted in the article is how much of the western U.S. has come to look. This barren and lifeless state is not only causing humans to evacuate the region, but it's also causing the loss of thousands of animals. Species native to desert regions specifically, but as previously mentioned, forest animal populations are dwindling as well. A piece in the Washington Post written by Daryl Fears portrays the giant kangaroo rat and its rapid endangerment. The article also details how wild animal sightings have become more common in larger cities, as these animals are being involuntarily removed from their habitats due to drought circumstances. As animals are being forced out of their habitats to search for food in other areas, humans are also experiencing a lack of food resources. The western United States has seen a sharp drop in crop production, and due to the lack of water, we cannot even properly irrigate our crops. Our lack of regulations on water usage, extreme and ongoing overuse of water resources, and our inadequate use of groundwater are leaving farmers with no choice but to shut down whole farms because they cannot supply the water needed to irrigate their fields. Though there is no exact solution to the issue because it is a result of hundreds of years of water abuse, there are steps we can take to combat the issue. If everyone works together to be aware of when they need to be using water versus when they want to be using water, we can decrease our water usage. By becoming aware of the issue, we can raise awareness and help people realize that if this problem is not fixed quickly, the droughts in the western U.S. will decimate the region. According to a study performed by Bluefield Research, wastewater reuse will increase from 20% to 61% by 2025 if the people of the western U.S. can effectively execute the solutions mentioned. What exactly is wastewater reuse, you might ask? Well, it is the treatment of wastewater to drinking water quality. Water is water, people, and at this rate, we should be thankful for all that we can get. Another solution is the desalination of seawater. This solution has had trouble gaining traction in the United States due to its extremely high cost and lack of funding. According to the Bluefield Research study, there are 17 saltwater desalination plants that are being installed in California. One of the most successful plants is Poseidon's Carlsbad Reverse Osmosis Plant. The article containing the Bluefield Research study on wateronline.com states that this plant is hoped to be a tipping point for U.S. desalination. The most obvious solution to the issue of droughts in the western United States is conservation. It costs nothing to not leave the water on while brushing your teeth. In fact, it will reduce water bills for some people. Conservation is something everyone can participate in. It is the quickest method in terms of execution and solving the issue. If everyone in the western U.S. decreased their shower time by just 1 minute, we would save hundreds of thousands of gallons of water every year. Although the issue of droughts in the western U.S. is not a new one, it has recently become more serious than ever due to the effects of climate change. If we can recognize the issue now and take care of the land that we call home, we will be able to continue to call it our home. Do the giant kangaroo rat and yourselves a favor. Conserve water and support the solutions needed to save the western United States.